Welcome to another episode of Bergen Stage's Television, our entertainment magazine here at Bergen Community College. I'm Jim Bumgardner, your host. Normally we talk about performing arts that are happening in and around our campus, but today we're going to take our spotlight and shine it down the hall a little bit to our culinary arts and talk about our hotel and restaurant management program. And who better to talk about it with me than Tomer Zilkha, chef, professor, and former coordinator for the program as well. So welcome to the show, Tomer.
Thank you for having me, Jim.
Yes. Do we call you Chef Tomer or Chef Zilkha?
Tomer is good.
Tomer's good.
Yes.
So Tomer, before we talk about the program, because there's so much to talk about, and you guys are such an inspirational program and how it's grown so much. But before we do that, I wanted to talk about you a little bit. How are we so lucky to have you? Where did you come from? I know you came from Israel.
Yes. Yes. So I arrived in 2004. I had to live in the Big Apple.
The Big Apple.
You have to experience at least once in your life. That's what they say.
So that's the only, you just came to be in the Big Apple, you had no...
And with the intent to study, get a degree. And I landed at Borough of Manhattan Community College in the city, so I lived in the East Village.
Cool.
That was my...
Good for you.
Yeah, it was great time. And then I transferred to a four-year school. In the meantime, I developed some love for this profession of baking. And
that didn't happen at the community college or the four-year school?
It happened, well, I was sitting in this dingy East Village apartment, and yeah, it's like mattress on the floor, some critters, I have to say it, but this was the reality. $500 a month for rent in the East Village is not much. And we had, my friend from Israel actually stepped into one of the coffee shops that I worked as a barista at the time. And so he's a musician, he's a guitar player. Very inspirational. You know, we grew up together, and like, what are you doing here? He just somehow we ended up, in New York for a few months for a tour, and he needed a place to stay, so he stayed with me on this
dingy mattress
with
roaches everywhere.
Just like that, and he plays the guitar, and he's like, he's like asking me, what's the plan? And I just want to live here for a little bit and experience New York. I'll take some English as second language classes and maintain my status as a F1 student. And he said, okay, well, how about career? Have you thought about anything like? I said, well, I love playing basketball. I cannot be an NBA player. I know that. I do like baking, and I grew up around food with my mom and my grandma. And
she let you bake, or was it a?
She let me bake. First thing I made was a cheesecake, and it was great. And I kept helping in the kitchen. And he's like, "Well, you're in the East Village. It's the best city in the world. And why don't you just go to a different restaurant, knock on doors, and find a place to kind of practice and see if you like it as a profession?"
Oh, cool.
And he was like with a guitar playing, and so like, wow, Omer, his name is Omer. Omer and Tomer.
Omer.
We were not, it was like very inspirational, and I started doing that. So I started working with my resume and a very oversized suit from a thrift shop, and with like 50 resume copies.
Just going
and
door to door and
trying,
find out who would. So almost like being an apprentice.
An apprentice
With a chef at
exactly
in a restaurant.
Exactly.
And did it happen?
It did happen after a few rejections, but I was driven enough to just continue and find that opportunity to know if I really like it. All I needed to do is like maybe a week or two of volunteering as a dishwasher. I couldn't offer any baking help on a professional level, but and that happened at Zilkha on 9th Street and 2nd Avenue with Chef Lisa. I remember her, my first mentor, greatest mentor.
Oh, cool.
And she and I offered my services as a cleaning person, dishwashing, and she liked my drive, and she said, come downstairs, New York basement. Right, classic kitchen, pastry kitchen. Well, real estate is very, very limited. So we bake underground, and so Lisa basically gave me a chocolate chip cookie recipe. I saw the 20-quart mixer, huge, not as and then it was like, wow, this is the machinery, this is the daily life, and within a week I already kind of I'm like, this is what I want to do.
Awesome. And to do that big of a huge recipe, I assume, doing not one or two cookies.
Yeah, there was about probably 200 or so, but it was just a huge pedal attachment and like steel all everywhere. It was kind of very industrial.
So you knew from that this is something that really spoke to you. You said
yes.
You could not continue at that level. Was she trying to say you need to go off to school, or?
She said from the get-go, get your experience, see if you like it. Don't spend money on school before you actually like it. Because sometimes, she's a graduate of the CIA, the Culinary Institute of America, and she said, it's better to know sometimes you go to school and then you're not going to be using those skills.
Right.
So I ended up there for 8 months while I was holding a barista position in Gramercy Park. Which was great for my latte art skills. And so I grew up in New York. It was a rebirth in a way.
That's awesome.
Coffee and baking and just matching those together.
Learning English, all these kind of things. And then you knew you had this love. So where did you get your culinary art skill then?
So Lisa was the first person, and then I moved to a few jobs in New York City on the Upper East Side, on Chambers Street in Tribeca. I really tried to get jobs that were challenging under French pastry chefs, because that was my passion, to learn about baking, pastry, and get more into this. And then I went to City Tech, which is part of CUNY.
Sure, yeah.
Borough of Manhattan Community College, and then I transferred to City Tech. So I kind of did what we do here, and what we inspire students to
Start
do.
Here.
And go anywhere.
Yeah.
That was it.
Oh, that's cool. And then was Bergen the first place afterwards you came to teach?
So yes, I stumbled upon this opportunity. I have 2 restaurants in New Jersey
that's right.
and Bergen County. So one of my customers brought a friend to the restaurant, and she was an adjunct teacher at Bergen. And I said, "Oh, you teach at Bergen?" I teach every day pretty much without having the actual job. You train employees, bakers, baristas, chefs, servers, and it was like, I want to do it maybe in a different environment. I think I'm gonna love it. I think so, and it was the right decision. And she just told me, call this person. He's at the head of the culinary program at the time. Arthur Tolvey, has been here for a while, and he's built, he brought us all the way to here, and then I kind of joined at that time.
That's awesome.
It was 5 years ago.
So you came in as an adjunct, or did you come as full-time?
As an adjunct for the first 2 years, teaching 2 baking classes, Introduction to Baking and Advanced Baking.
Oh, cool. And then it moved into this tenure track position.
And then it just kind of took over. So the dean calls me. I was in Georgia, Savannah one summer, 3 years ago, and she calls me, Laura Ochoa, at dean at the time, and she said, "Tomer, there is a new opening for a tenure track position." I didn't even know what tenure track means, but
it sounded pretty good.
Soon enough, I would know. Yes, but I'm like, you know what? It's a full-time position. I can make a difference even more than just on the baking program. I think, and learning about all the communal approach and this whole thing that goes around being a tenure track instructor at this college. I decided to take this position. I interviewed, and I was selected to serve.
And we were so lucky to have you there.
Well, thank you.
So it's funny how all this is kind of morphed, that you got your education, you learned how to cook, and now you're the one paying it forward and teaching the next generation.
It's amazing.
Bakers and all this.
Yes, it's amazing. It's specifically in my role. The baking industry in this country is now is so hot. TV, the Food Network, sculptures, chocolate, bread, sugar. Food, right? And there are communities that popping up in different states, where if before you would have commercial baking, this, not to offend anyone, but gummy bread that you buy in the supermarket that has a lot of, dough conditioners and chemicals that are introduced into the bread. And now it's just a very fascinating industry that a lot of artisan bakers are practically taking wheat berries from the field, from farmers, and they mill it in their bakery and create artisan products, just much like you see that the students at Bergen now are doing.
Doing it. Yeah, I'm so lucky because my office is right down the hall from the
smell
baking
it.
class, so I smell it, and then you let me come taste it and try
course.
things out to make sure that they're doing it right.
Of course, we break bread together. That's what we do.
And I think our palates have changed too, that we're kind of going, I don't want that soft doughy stuff that's at the supermarket. I want something that's really cooked well.
Yes, that's true. And thanks to TV, Food Network is one of them, but there are many other shows. People know a lot more what's good and what's less good, and they expect that. And You cannot anymore just make a cookie and a cupcake and an apple pie program. You have to go deeper into, those are obviously staples that we all love,
Yeah, yeah.
but people are willing to pay for something that is offering more challenging, develop challenging techniques.
And you talk about the word program, and so just kind of if I was a student coming here, what's my benefit of studying at Bergen Community College?
So we have an amazing cadre of instructors here in different fields. We are focusing now at the baking program. There's another program that is coming up, the coffee barista. So it's the Artisan Coffee program where you learn how to roast and create beverages. But right now the baking
I don't specialize in that. I'm going to learn all these things when I come here as a student, yeah?
You're going to learn how to roast coffee. You're going to learn how to brew the extract the right espresso shot. You will learn how to create latte arts. So as you see those hearts that and rosettas and all that.
So is that so I'll take that as a part of it, and I'll take a baking class as well, and I'll take all these things, or will I emphasize in barista and coffee?
That would be a certificate. So we offer different certificates.
Oh, okay.
We have obviously the associate degree, the AAS that is in hospitality management. We offer that, and that will take you're able to take electives in different types of concentrations.
Wherever you wanted to be in all those.
Baking and pastry, right.
And a certificate's great because it's almost like if you're at a restaurant and they suddenly get a new machine, a new coffee machine, it's like, well, go over and learn how to do this over at Bergen, and then come back with your certificate.
We can turn around, let's say, an employee that works at Starbucks and they want to provide a professional development opportunity. Within 3 months, 7 classes, a certificate of 18 credits that will give you, this is in baking or in coffee, and in food as well, culinary. And within 3 months, for the employers, it's attractive because you are, it's not a long program and it's very intense. Intense in the sense that hands-on, make a lot of the mistakes that you make here, not on the job, so you have a good chance to succeed on the job.
Right, right.
Have certifications, nationally recognized certificates like ServSafe, ServSafe alcohol, tips. Those are all important for the industry.
So if I got my certificate and wanted to go ahead and get 2-year program, can I morph that into the 2-year program?
Yes, you can.
I really like this
Most
education
definitely.
thing.
Most definitely, if you want to get an academic envelope, right, and get more into a 2-year, 4-year program, and maybe masters, and who knows, all the way to the doctorate level, you can definitely. It's recommended. We always want to say that the academic aspect of it is a safety net. Okay, so yes, we can cook without an academic degree, we can bake without it, but what happens if we get injured and we can't do this job anymore?
Right.
You have your associates, your bachelors. You can choose different ways.
Where you want to go with it. You might teach.
We might teach as
But it's
well.
great because it's all hands-on. Every one of your classes, I think, are hands-on. Now, it's called Hotel Restaurant Management. We'll get into talking more of why it's called that, because I just like calling you the Culinary Arts Department because we're performing arts, you're culinary arts.
Yes.
But you emphasize in other things, not just cooking.
Correct.
In this program.
There are a few. The hospitality industry is a very interesting. It's a whole entire world on its own. You can specialize in food writing. You can specialize in wine and beverage management. You can specialize. You want to be a baker or a chef, or you want to be a hotelier. You want to work on a cruise ship, golf course, a casino. There are different aspects of it.
And not necessarily in the kitchen. You're in there seating people and
most definitely
managing the restaurant itself or whatever.
Yes, that is so critical. And I say it as a business owner because there are two worlds always there is the back of the house world where you get all the food prepared and the baking, everything is around food, and then there is the front where you need personalities that are completely different.
Can get people in to sit them down.
Yes, it's personalities that have to be kind of like, welcome to my house, and be kind of extroverted a little bit and host.
And guide them in. Well, we're going to talk more about the program because there's some really exciting things going on and some future things that are about to happen with the program. So we're going to take a short break and come right back to talk with Tomer.
All right.
How long have we been married, dear?
For 76 years.
He was kind and generous to me before we married, and he was kind and generous to me all these years that we have been married. We had been looking at a lot of different houses in different places around that area, and when we came by this house, it was green, and I love green. I'm Irish. And so I said, oh, there's our house. I know it. We decided on Meals on Wheels because at my age, I was getting to the point where I couldn't do all the things that I had been able to do. We're the Spans. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Welcome back to Bergen Stages. I'm Jim Bumgardner, your host. If you're just tuning in, I've been talking with Chef Tomer Zilkha, who is one of our wonderful staff here at the college, teaching our culinary arts, our hotel and restaurant management program. And Tomer, before we left, we were just talking about some of the programs that you have here and how important they are. Can you tell us some of the other programs that you want to highlight?
So the baking program is what we've just...
this is your new baby.
Yes, that's our new baby. The college injected a lot of money supporting it with amazing technology, and our learning objectives are just tremendously wide now. You'll come into our baking program and you will have a very, very solid foundation in many, many areas. It could be chocolate, sugar, sugar work. What else? We have just baking, particularly
the breads and the
artisan breads.
I mean, this summer all these huge ovens kept moving in.
Yes,
it's just incredible to see these.
Yes, we got a technology that is literally state of the art, from like ovens that were oven technology that was just introduced this year. Proof boxes, everything that you need to create artisan bread at the top level, and this is what we want to teach.
Cool.
We want to teach the top. You can decide as a student if you want where you want to work, but at least you have been exposed to the top.
And we were talking before how important a baking program is to your program, because you weren't known for it, and now it's just blossomed.
Yes, we have the baking program is now, it's word of mouth, working amazing now, and we have definitely, it's a diamond in the rough, in the sense that we already have the technology. We have in instructors. I bring I bring examples from my business that I just experienced this morning to my students, and this is part of what the way we are looking at talent, faculty meaning. We want to make sure that our faculty knows what they're doing and experience it day to day, so they work in the industry in the different fields. In baking particularly, it would be me, and we have a couple of others that.
Because you have 3 stores now, 3.
I have 2 stores, 2 stores in a 45-seat restaurant in Closter and Englewood, and in Englewood, New Jersey, and we offer also internship programs. So this program is basically taking you from the theory through a very intensive production of baking and pastry. That provides the Bergen room, which is the restaurant that is operated
Right,
on
I want
campus.
to get into that in just a second about the Bergen room.
Yes,
so what
sure.
you were saying is that you've got these great faculty members who emphasize in their specialty.
Yes,
I know
yes.
that there's someone that deals with meats.
Yes, we have. Well, so that's Chef Pascal Beric is a master charcutier. That's a separate program, so part of the culinary program, but is an amazing artist, and that's all it'll show you how to cure, to smoke, to pickle, to butcher, different specialties.
Cool. And didn't he take them out to a farm?
Yes, we're connecting with farms, so the trend is now farm to table.
Right.
It has been, and we tapped into it very aggressively. We work with farmers closely. We'll get the pig from the farm, the cow from the farm, the whole thing, and the students are going to start, getting the tools out,
farm to table.
and with the proper guidance, just, be able to cultivate what they need to.
Oh, that's cool. And so what else do we emphasize? I know John Banman gets into wine and wine tasting and
Yes,
understanding.
the beverage program is amazing. We just introduced an introduction to wines, beers, and spirits. This program is for the first time we offer real alcohol in this program.
For 21 and over.
For 21 and over, of course, and you get the expertise of John Bandman. Is an amazing accomplished sommelier, certified in different countries. Is just unbelievable. You sit in this class and you can talk about everything that you want to learn about, and this is in every program.
That's
Yes.
great. That's great.
Yes.
And who's teaching the coffee?
Coffee, we co-teach it. It's myself
okay.
And John Bandman. So he's more on the theoretical side, and because I do it day to day in my bakery. Yes, and I do the roasting and the latte art and different types of brewing systems that are out there in New York.
And who else do we have on set that I'm
We
just
have
looking-
Rhonda Drakeford,
Rhonda,
who
of
is
course, yeah.
she specializes on the hotel side of it, hotel and lodging. So different certifications now that you are able to get.
And with that, hopefully I can be a front desk. I can run a front desk.
Front desk, definitely softwares that are used in hotels nowadays. We are actually building a room in our future Hackensack location, a hotel room that will have a Murphy bed and a whole thing that is basically about to explode in our new campus.
That's just so great.
Yes.
And who else am I missing?
We have Chef Aaron.
Oh, Chef Aaron, yes.
Chef Aaron is responsible for the culinary program, and he runs the Bergen Room restaurant, which
Great.
is an intensive task.
So let's talk about the Bergen Room restaurants, because every semester you'll offer meals there.
We offer meals.
It's
lunch service.
lunch service. In the fall, it's
So we have either a la carte where you can order and you sit down for a 3-course meal, or a buffet style. So it teaches the students how to behave in different environments, how to operate those different environments. They're totally different from each other. And we are able to use you guys as guinea pigs. Right. So you come to eat for $9.
It's cheap, and it's a great meal. The students prepare the meal. They act as the waiters, so they'll swap off. I guess they have different...
Yes, so we have the 2 classes running in tandem, and we have also the baking class. So there are a bunch of them running in tandem. And the coffee program is going to be an additional part of it. 4 classes running in tandem to supply an experience at the Bergen Room that is basically simulating the reality.
And you can seat maybe 40 people?
You can seat up to 60 people.
60, wow.
So we've done events. We close the Bergen Room sometimes for special events.
So you call for reservations. A student is responsible for taking reservations. That's part of their training.
Yes, we're implementing OpenTable.com too. So it's an electronic version that helps you control the list. Cancellations, reservations. The students learn how to work with this.
They make the menu up. They decide what the menu is going to be.
Yeah, with of course the guidance of faculty, but definitely the different projects that empower students to create. It's the same in a baking program. You go to advanced baking and you create your own basically cake. You have to implement the plan, the production, pricing, food cost, and so forth.
But how proud you are, because it's your students doing it. It's kind of like we in the theater program, to see our student actors and technicians, and they're all doing it and creating that magic moment.
It is amazing.
And each meal that you get through, each day you go, we did it.
This
whole program got together.
Absolutely. And when you see the alumni working in New York City establishment, you know that you've done probably the right thing if they were able to get a job in one of the most challenging cities in the world. And those are great moments for us.
Yes.
Those are moments of
Yes.
achievement where we know that matters.
You did it.
Yes,
You
and
did
we've
it.
done it.
And
Yes.
So Chef Aaron runs the cafe? Is that his?
He runs the cafe. He's responsible for the culinary program. Like I said, Rhonda is responsible for the hotel and lodging. She's also our new coordinator, and we're very excited about it. We have a lot of things that are still in work that she's
And there's so many classes. You guys offer so many classes all around the clock. I mean, I see them here at
Yes.
6 on a Friday, or
Absolutely. And
so-
the new campus that we'll have.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I'm excited about this.
Keep
Keep
insinuating,
pushing
right?
the new campus. Yeah, you have this whole new facility coming, which is you've outgrown
Yes.
the facilities you're in now. So what's happening with that? What's the
super exciting program is coming into Hackensack. The city supports, the county supports, the college supports. $15 million project, maybe a little bit more than that. That basically it's a culinary building, a 2-story building with a new parking lot that will allow. It's all about food. Will allow the students to feel hospitality, 100% hospitality, culinary, and in there, we have even more learning objectives that we will be able to
adding
introduce.
more classes?
More classes, smart rooms.
And there's a restaurant involved that will be open
There is a
more often?
corner restaurant in
Corner
that building.
restaurant.
We chose the Bergen State, a corner restaurant.
Perfect location.
With
Good,
an-
good,
yes,
good.
with an outdoor seating where there is a concept of an island where the students, cook, and it protrudes into the dining room so you can see the action
them
taking
work.
place.
Oh,
Amazing, absolutely amazing. And there is a coffee shop on the side where you'll see the roaster.
So these are going to be
displayed
open
there.
all the time too, or are you just opening them
With 3 meals a day, we will ease into it.
3 meals a day? Now we're
Yes.
used to what, 2 a week?
2 days a week, 2 meals. Yeah, 2 meals.
And now we're going to do 3 meals a day.
Yes, it's
in
a
the
very-
restaurant and
Yes.
a coffee.
Yes, it's a business. We think of it as there are 2 aspects in that building, and that is a business that has to justify itself, right? And it's a really
But that's a lot of work.
real opportunity.
So
for
someone's
them.
going to be running this whole,
Yes.
not just the classes. You got somebody.
We'll have management.
management, yeah.
We'll have a co-op class where the capstone class will basically be the restaurant for the culinary aspect of it, and for the hospitality and hotel and restaurant management, it can be the front of the house.
Sure.
And so it's all coming together to form a beautiful concept that is happening nationwide as well.
What a learning environment. What a great
Yes.
place to be. And when do you hope to be in this space?
We are planning to break ground in January. So I just met with the relocation team, the HRM relocation team. HRM means hospitality restaurant, and
Right.
And we're almost there. We have we have a lot of blueprints, and there is a rendering of how the building is going to look like.
And I love that when you bought all this new equipment, all of it is on wheels, so it'll roll right over to Hackensack.
Yes.
And
So
be
as a
installed there.
coordinator, up until last September, I was in charge of this relocation. I'm still there as at the relocation committee. Everything that we sourced is portable, has to be on wheels. There's a strategy behind it. So we are using the generous help of the Perkins Fund and be able to source this equipment through Perkins, go into Hackensack, and continue there.
It seems like a pipe dream, but now it's really a reality. You're going to break ground in January, which is just awesome. And so will I not see you then here at this campus? Everything will be at Hackensack?
So everything is going to be there. There's, of course, nothing set in stone. You know, I know people are going to miss their meals in Paramus. They're going to ask me, "Oh, you don't do this anymore." So I think that as enrollment grows, and I think it may be possible to continue operating as some sort of a function at the main campus.
But we have the shuttle bus, so we can take the shuttle over
Yes.
to the Hackensack campus.
Most
and do
definitely.
that. That's great. So it's just such wonderful things happening with the program.
Yes.
And do you see anything further than that, or this is just kind of the focus now?
The building itself is a project that will carry us for many years.
And the building exists, and you're just modifying that building?
It's actually, there is the Chiarco Center, which is
Right.
the campus that exists there for many years. And then across diagonally from that center is where the new building is going to go. It's a park. It's an empty space now. So
Oh, it's empty.
empty.
We're done. Oh, it's just so exciting about what's going on with hotel, restaurant, management. Tomer, thank you so much for being a part of
Thank
today's
you.
show.
Thank
I'm
you
just
for having us.
So excited. I can't wait to come and eat in Hackensack and
Yes,
catch a
most
show while I'm there. Thank you again for tuning in. It's so wonderful that you get to enjoy such great talent that we have here on our campus. Tune in again. Thanks again for watching.